Thank you for being here. Thank you to CSRBOX for giving me the opportunity to speak today about this important issue area that we work on, clear vision. So I'll be talking over the next few minutes on how clear vision can help us accelerate and achieve SDGs. At VisionSpring, we are helping the world see clearer through a pair of eyeglasses. It's a simple issue, but more than 1 billion people around the world need a pair of eyeglasses to see clearly. And how we see this simple intervention is a catalytic input into different thematic areas like earning, learning, road safety, quality of life, livelihoods. And we as an organization work on solving this problem. More than 1 billion people around the world need a pair of eyeglasses to be better at work. And out of that, 50% are in India alone. So it's the biggest disability in the world that no one's talking about. And we're here to solve this problem. It's a 700-year-old technology. It's not something very high-tech, advanced, but due to various factors, lack of access, awareness, social stigmas and taboos associated with wearing glasses, people are not able to have access to them. So if you look at SDGs, out of the 17 SDGs, at least 4 to 5 have direct connection with the work that we do. You cannot earn if you do not have clear vision. So if you talk about skilling initiatives, livelihood, gender equality, talk about weavers and artisans, talk about factory workers, they all need clear vision to be more productive and efficient at their work and earn more income. Similarly, truck drivers, commercial vehicle drivers, they need clear vision to drive safely on the roads. You could do n number of things for road safety, create world-class infrastructure. If they don't have this basic building block, they'll not be able to drive safely and would be a threat on the roads. We've screened more than 600,000 drivers over the last 3 or 4 years, and we found that 63% of them cannot see clearly. Just to reiterate the government policy around commercial driving licenses, every 3 years, a commercial driver needs to renew the license. Eye testing is mandatory as part of that renewal process. But still, because of that policy not being implemented in letter and spirit, so many people are driving on our roads without clear vision. And more than 70% of these 63% drivers who needed glasses were first-time wearers. That means if we hadn't gone and reached them, they would have never got their pair of eyeglasses. Similarly, post-COVID, about 20% of the children in schools need glasses. It was about 8 to 10%, but because of change in lifestyle, access to devices, nutrition deficiencies, this epidemic of myopia has grown manifold. Weavers, artisans, people in factories. 2019, we screened 100,000 people in Varanasi. These are weavers. They are weavers of Banarsi saris, work in dark conditions, need vision. Their daily wages, the amount of sari that they weave every day would determine their income. Again, 73% of them did not have a pair of eyeglasses, even in a city like Varanasi. So if you talk about remote areas, the situation is even worse. 2 great things happened a couple of years back. The UN General Assembly said that, eye vision is a basic fundamental right. So eye health for all, they said. There's another thing that happened in the World Health Assembly, the 74th World Health Assembly. They said that the cataract coverage rates around the world need to go up by 30%, and refractive error, which is just the need for a simple pair of eyeglasses, the coverage rates need to go up by 40%. So countries around the world have taken this pledge that we will increase the coverage rates by 40 basis points. And we are driving that change across the country. And how we do that is by integrating the work that we do with different thematic areas. So while the work that VisionSpring does can be a separate program, but it doesn't need to be. It can be just an added plug-in into your existing programs to accelerate the achievement of the goals that you are aiming for. In 2018, we did a study in the tea gardens in Assam with the Tata amalgamated plantations. We found that the productivity increase through a simple pair of eyeglasses can be as high as 32%. This was published in Lancet as the highest increase in productivity through any health intervention, not just an eye care intervention, but through any health intervention. That set us off on a program in the tea gardens in Assam where we plan to screen 10 lakh tea tribes over the next 5 years. We've already crossed more than 150,000 tea garden workers. So we thought that, with all of these things happening, with a great need in our country, it's time for us to focus on what we call the Bharat Ujjwal Drishti Abhiyan, or the India Clear Vision. We're trying to make India the first clear vision nation in the world. If you look at any of the Government of India programs, Skill India, Digital India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, the road safety initiatives that our transport minister talks about, none of them can be achieved without clear vision, without the pair of eyeglasses that we all require. If you look around in this room, 50% of the room would be wearing glasses. And these are, I would like to believe, mid to high income. And if you go to low income areas where people are not aware, then the figures are staggering, as high as 70 to 80% in certain parts of the country. If we are able to get a simple pair of eyeglasses to people in our country, which is 54 crore people, as I said, half of the world's population that require a pair of eyeglasses are in India, we're going to increase the GDP of our, Thanks. So we're going to increase the GDP of our nation by 3 to 4%. And these are very conservative figures. We did a study a few years back, and that's not been updated for inflation. So realistically, about 6 to 8% is the increase in GDP if you are making everyone wear a simple pair of eyeglasses. And what it needs, just an investment of about $6 billion. So to put $6 billion in context, Twitter was bought for $44 billion, right? So it's really nothing if the corporations, if NGOs, if the government come together and work on this initiative. And it's going to add about $118 to $120 billion to India's economy, which can really transform our growth and catapult us to a different league of growing nations. So we need all kinds of stakeholders to come together, implementing partners, the government, policymakers, funders, corporations to make this happen. We as an organization have screened more than 10 million people in India. 6.5 million glasses have been provided by us. And annually we screen more than 1 million people. We screen more than 3 million people in India and provide more than 1 million glasses across 26 states. This is our geographic spread. Almost every part of India is covered by our team. We also are digitally enabled. We run on SAP. We have the first solar-powered lens lab in Asia, and these are where the glasses are made. Last year, we took also the big step to join the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative of Government of India, and we've started making our glasses within India and be self-sufficient and cater to the needs of our people, the designs, the styles, the quality, the durability needs of our people. We talk a lot about unicorns in the startup space. We've created more than $1.4 billion of economic impact in India. So we like to believe that we are a unicorn. We may not have $1 billion revenues as an organization, but we've created more than $1 billion in economic impact. So we are a social impact unicorn. We would like all of you to join us in this mission. do not treat it as something different from the work that you're doing. It's a part of the work that you're doing. Today, by the way, happens to be also the World Sight Day. And the theme for this year's World Sight Day is the world of work. So the world of work, any kinds of work, working in your organizations, in your offices, in factories, people need clear vision to be more productive. With that, I will end my talk and wish you once again a very happy World Sight Day. Thank you.